Hey there guys, in today's video I wanted to show you how I solved a problem. I have a juvenile emu with a foot injury, so I needed to find a way to do a foot soak on this animal that was completely stress-free. So if you guys want to see how I was able to make that happen, make sure to stick around because that's going to be coming up right after this. Hey there guys, this is Jack over at Hi Redbird, where I am tirelessly working to find new ways to make the keeping of exotic animals and pets more exciting, more affordable, and ultimately more enjoyable. And in today's video, I wanted to share with you guys how I did a little bit of problem solving. So part of being a professional animal caretaker is having to find new and different ways to take care of animals, treat animals, and make it look easy, which oftentimes it is not. Now I do have a juvenile emu, only about 2 months old, that had a foot injury, and his vet recommended that he do 10-minute foot soaks for 10 days in order to help clean the foot, make sure that it's healing correctly. The problem with that is that emu are not known for being the smartest animals. And especially when they're very young, they can be very, very skittish. Now, even though I have been working with these birds every single day, they are still very flighty, very skittish. The issue with emus, especially when it comes to things like their hips, their legs, their feet, emus grow incredibly quickly, terrifyingly quickly, I would say. The problem is if you have an animal that has an injury, typically what you would want to do is try to limit their movement. The problem is that an emu that has limited movement isn't going to have the muscle tone that it needs as it's growing so quickly. And if you don't limit the movement, you're going to develop that muscle tone, but you run a much higher risk of injuring the legs, the feet, the hips even further. So in this instance, to get a 10-minute foot soak on an emu, I needed to find a way where the emu was a fully willing participant. So here's what I came up with. Tell me what you guys think. All right, guys, so here we have the stall. This is a 10-foot by 10-foot stall. This is where these emu are currently living. So I set up a kiddie pool that would be their foot bath. Now I'm going to be using Epsom salts for this foot bath. It's what was recommended by their veterinarian. Now all I did is I positioned this kiddie pool in the corner of the enclosure. I started with it empty at first, and then I used lima beans, which are the preferred treat item for my two emu. We have Bunsen and Beaker. I think they are absolutely fabulous names for these two birds because emu most definitely remind me of Muppets. But if you guys had to name these two juvenile emu, I'd be curious to know, what would you name them? Go ahead, leave that comment down in the comment section below. But all I did is I would fill the kiddie pool. I would fill it with maybe about 1 inch of water and the appropriate amount of Epsom salts. And then I would take a food bowl with high value produce items for these birds, and I would position it in the far part of the pool. The very first day that I did this, they would step into the water and then they would step out of the water. If they got spooked by anything, you can see from the shade that there is a tree next to the enclosure. So if there was a decent wind, it would startle the emu and they'd go running out. But this is only about 3 days into their training for this. And you can see with me in the enclosure, with wind and things going on, they are staying in that enclosure. They are definitely able to do their foot soak. Nice, easy. You can see there is no stress on their part at all, which was the main thing that I was working on. Now, part of how I am able to control how long the foot soak goes is by making sure there is enough produce in the bowl to maintain their attention for a set period of time. So if this is a situation you find yourself in and your vet recommends that, you need to figure out how much food you need to have in order to hit that time frame. You also need to make sure that you have a decent idea of what the favorite items are for a foot soak like this. Because, again, that big kiddie pool is a little bit scary. Me setting it up, moving things around, putting water in an enclosure they are not used to, all of those things have the potential to be a little bit scary. So, if you have a high-value reinforcer that you can use, you can help them get over it. And as you can see with these birds right here, once they got over it, they realized that this kiddie pool was nothing scary, so they were able to do that just fine. So if you like this video, go ahead, click the thumbs up button, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, because I'm trying to constantly put out content like this for you guys, and I hope to see you guys next time. I do need to say thank you to my Patreon patrons for helping to make these videos possible. You can find out more by visiting Hi Red Bird on Patreon or clicking the link in the description section down below if you would like more information. Thanks!